Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Reverse 1999 reaction. Today we have Melody on the Trigger as requested by Keeper of Burbs. Apparently I need to listen to this because it's part of the new version of the game. And that's just how requests tend to go. You know, there's a new version of the game, so give the music boy the newest musics to react to. And that's what I'll be doing here. I was given the hint that this was like World War I themed, so I at least have kind of an expectation of what the song maybe not sound-wise, but at least story-wise will be like. So I guess I have to figure out what it sounds like now, and without further ado, let's go! I'm immediately noticing like a static in this ear. It's subtle, but I also don't know if it's intentional. Maybe it's just an artifact of it being ripped from something. But there is a lot of other sound design stuff already being introduced, so maybe. Okay, reverse samples. Building that atmosphere. Getting that chaos and tension all intermingled. Oh, okay. Oh, that's an interesting... Is that a melodica? It doesn't necessarily sound like an accordion. And that bend in there. Maybe it's a synth. That's a weird choice of a lead instrument. Especially because it's kind of ambiguous. I can't really tell what it is. I'm still leaning towards a melodica, although the pitch bend was a little bit different. And the melody's kind of a weird choice, too. This might sound weird, but it kind of reminds me of Donkey Kong Country. But more war-torn and dark. God, those pitch bends are still weird. Okay. This is probably one of the first songs from Reverse 1999 that I am kind of unsure about. Like I can see the vision, but I feel like the execution was just off the mark enough that it's really throwing me. I'll say it again. I see the vision. I hear the vision for this song. It sounds melancholic, it sounds sorrowful and distant. The melody is definitely doing its job. I think where this song ends up falling flat for me is the choice of lead instrument. That does not make sense basically at all. For the era, for the energy, like, sure, if you're looking at it like a harmonica, maybe, that kind of makes more sense for like the tuning that things would be in around this time and the type of music that might be played out on the fields of war in this era. But it's not a harmonica, you know, like it's not a real one. And there's a texture to that that is completely lost. If that was the intention, they missed the mark, and that's what's bugging me. I'm not really a purist on that side, but I do believe that when you're playing the real instrument, there is an inherent quality to that that cannot be synthesized. There is that physicality to playing that gets lost when you have a synthetic version of the instrument. That's not to say you can't make it work, and there are plenty of people out there who have done so. This does not feel really like it did that. This really feels like somebody playing a melodica, which is not an instrument that really would have been played. I don't even know if it really existed in at least a super public sort of way at this time period. And if you're talking about a harmonica again, because there was like the pitch bends and stuff you can do on a harmonica that usually you can't do on a melodica, because that's a very like single note sort of thing. It's single chords and you can kind of use your breath to vary that, but it's not the same. It doesn't feel the same. And that's what I mean. Even on a harmonica, this doesn't feel like that. It's definitely a synthesized sound, and it ends up missing the mark of the emotional pressure for me, because I can see what they're trying to do for this emotional weight on the song. I can feel, especially in the drums and the other parts of the backing track, I can feel that in there. They put a lot of work into making that feel distant and slow, and there's a lot of weight to it. Some of it almost sounds like cannon fire. It's just really nice on that end. But the lead kind of bungs it up for me, gotta be honest with you. If this was played by somebody, if there's somebody out there watching this who plays harmonica, play this on a harmonica, do a cover of it without the lead. I would even go as far to say I could probably remove the lead from this song if you need an instrumental for it. But like, I want to hear what this sounds like from somebody who plays the instrument, because I feel like that quality is missing from this purely based on whatever production choices were made. And again, the song, it has this beauty to it. It has that distance to it. It has all the qualities in concept, but it was really the execution that made this feel so weird, and I could not get over that it sounded like Gangplank Gallows or something from Donkey Kong. I could not get that out of my head. It was just, it's that exact same sort of sample, something that would be found in Donkey Kong Country. It's almost damn near the lead in some of Donkey Kong Country's OST, and I don't think that was intentional at all. I think the intention was to make it feel distant and real, but there is a missing quality to this. It sounds way too clean, and it sounds way too rehearsed, and by that quality is just synthetic. So I don't know about this one. Again, it's like, I like what it was doing, but I was so distracted by what was lost by the choices made that's it's kind of distracting. It's now taking up the majority of my opinion on this song, and I feel like there is definitely a world where this was done more authentically and therefore better. It's just a song that needs that. And if you don't have that, it kind of ends up being, it misses that punch in the gut that it's supposed to have. That emotional dynamic that this song should have by somebody playing it and putting their soul and emotion into it. The real sorrow and feeling of distance and loss that could have been in this song. That again, melodically is there, but as far as the production and performance goes, just isn't. And that sucks because it's pretty. But I cannot get over that they kind of missed the mark by just not hiring somebody to do a harmonica or something, finding a friend who can play a harmonica, even if you don't have one, there are people on Fiverr, for God's sake, who would be able to take sheet music and roll with it, or a demo track or something else, just anything to like give the harmonica player the emotion and the feel and be like, take this and roll with it. And there is a quality of that is lost here. And I feel like if it were redone with an actual player, it would feel so much better. And that's why I was like, this doesn't sound like like an accordion or anything, but it has that quality to it because it's synthetic. And that sort of air chamber sound is so difficult to actually simulate and emulate on a computer through a synthetic track. It's just not something that they've quite really found out. You have samples, of course, and you could always use samples and just stitch them together. But for this to be as smooth as it was, you need somebody to play it or you need to synthesize it. And unfortunately, for the emotion that they're trying to hit, not having an actual person play was just not the right call here. I'm sorry. This might be legitimately the first song from Reverse that I'm like kind of iffy on, because I can see the vision sitting in front of me. I can hear the intent behind the composition, but the execution just isn't there. I can't do it. I would give this one maybe a 5 as a result of that. It could have been a 7 or an 8, but even without the context of what's going on, and even though I do have some of that context, the execution's just not doing it for me, because I crave that human connection, and this song kind of removes most of that in how it was handled. But I've yapped enough here, so thank you all so very much for watching. Sorry this one was kind of more of a bummer than I really hoped it would be. I always hope for good songs. So far, this game hasn't given me much to complain about. This might be the first time where I've given something a legitimately negative review from this game. It's been so many great songs, and once in a while, you're gonna just kind of miss the mark for me. But I've already talked about all that. I'll digress now. Again, thank you all so very much for watching. If you want to request something else from this game, by all means do so. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be discouraged from hearing more. I know this is definitely going to be an exception and not the rule, so let me know down in the comments if there's anything else you want me to get to from Reverse. And otherwise, if you just enjoyed this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!